Hey, how was your weekend? I know. I was not going to bring it up. I know I was not. No, where were you watching the game? Oh, that's fun. How was it? What did you have? Ooh, that sounds good. I haven't been there. Was it crowded? Did, oh, I know. I know. I sent a message when they were up. I was like, oh, go Vols. I was trying to root for you. I know Alabama's a heartbreaker. I'm sorry. I was not going to. I know. What did you end up doing the rest of the evening? Ooh, that's good. Oh, that's fun. Ooh, on Sunday? Oh, nature hike. Ooh, I love that. Look at you, life goals. Where'd you go? Oh, that is lovely. Do you ever do that during the week? You, no, I actually think it's a great idea. Like, I've thought, like, oh, that would be lovely. And then, like, on the weekends, I mean to, and sometimes it gets to Sunday night and I don't. But during the week, I mean, I think it'd be a great way to break up. No, I think so. Break up the day. Yeah. Yeah, no, we were watching it. Yeah, we watched it. I know. But how's everything going? Okay. Well, first, okay, I know I looked at the agenda. I always try to look at our agenda the morning of, make sure I'm prepared, add things in during the week for our shared agenda. But before that, is there anything that you're like, oh, top of mind you wanted to grab me on? Yeah. No, I had not been looped into that. Wow. Wait, so what are they asking you to do? Okay. No, I had no idea. No idea. No, this is peek behind the curtain. I trust me, it's not wizardry. Sometimes I think people forget, but also that shows, yeah, leaders coming directly to you. That's awesome. I just want to make sure that you, with everything else on your plate, that you have a sense of getting things done, that it's possible. But what's the timeline? They didn't say. How would I approach it? I mean, well, a couple things. One is it's totally fine to ask. No, I'd be happy to reach out. I mean, either way, on one hand, it can be helpful. Did they really? Okay, so if there's a couple other people on the team as well, I'm happy to reach out and say, hey, I know people are looped in, wanted to get a sense of time frame so I can make sure to prioritize everything with my team. Because it's probably not intentional that they leave me out. Honestly, they think highly of you and the other team members and are like, great, we'll go directly. But sometimes people forget that you have like a full plate and maybe like, this is like I literally used to when I was serving in a restaurant. And they don't realize, because you make it look very easy, that you have a full plate. So sometimes you should always feel free to say, hey, just want to get a sense of timeline so I can make sure I'm prioritizing everything like accordingly. But I'm also happy to have that conversation. No, I wouldn't mind. Not at all. I'm happy to reach out, especially since there's other people on the team, just to get a sense. But do you feel like you have a good sense of your workload? Like, okay. Do you feel like you have enough time? I guess we'll see what they're saying on the timeline. But yeah. Well, that's the thing. Anytime, and if I ever forget to, again, like I am not perfect and not a wizard, so I may forget to give a very basic detail, like a timeline. So always feel free to ask if you have any questions. But I just want to make sure that you and the other team members aren't just taking on more and stacked and feel like there's an expectation that you just do it all. That is not my expectation and nobody else's, and that wouldn't be sustainable. So it's always important that you have a sense when anything new is added of, okay, how does that fit in with workload? So yeah, no, I'm happy to check in for you and the others on the team. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. No, it sounds really interesting. So going through the shared agenda, I want to start with you and anything that you can use my help on or questions. Yeah, start with that. I'll have feedback, but I want you to always take the floor. Okay. So what's going on? Okay. So you're not sure how to respond. Okay. Well, I think it's, again, when people are coming to you, that shows that they believe that you can solve their problem or that you know what you're talking about. And sometimes you may not, and that's okay. Well, in that instance, there's no way you'd know. But let me ask you this. How do you think you should move forward? Well, okay. Let's talk about the different options. Like, okay, what could you do? You could say yes and just do it. What else? Could totally say no. And let's talk through this. Okay. Or yeah, I think that's fair. Okay, so say yes and just do it. Say no and okay, chips lie where they may. Or say yes but provide some context. Okay, what would happen? What do you think? What do you think would happen in those different instances? Yeah, I agree. Because sometimes you'll hear people say, well, a lot of times, like, the customer's always right. And our role is to have the best outcomes for our customers. But also, if we're just saying yes and not providing context, then we could be setting expectations that future us are going to be like, why did you agree to that and not have that context? I love that. Yeah, I think that idea of going back with questions. Yeah, because that's the same thing. When people ask you for something, sometimes it's getting a sense of, okay, help me understand how that information is distributed in your team and what that might look like. Because if that's additional reporting we haven't provided, for example, then yeah, I think getting a sense, because maybe it's something that other clients could use, customers, or maybe it's something that we have an existing format for that we could readily do. And so, no, I think it's part of the conversation. When people work with people, sometimes you feel like you need to be just this robot of like, yes, we will provide this. And it's super transactional. And sometimes that's what people need. But if you have a customer and you have this relationship and they're asking for something that we've never done before, look, if I'm on the customer side and someone says, that's actually really interesting, we haven't gotten that request. And so I'd love to understand how did this request come to be? What is it that we hadn't provided you that would be helpful? Who's the audience of this? And to say, like, I could just go and do it, but I just want to make sure that what we're providing makes the most sense for you and is most valuable. If I'm a customer, going to that next level and taking the time to have that question, again, whether it's ideally having a conversation just so you can like ask and make sure you get the clarity rather than the back and forth email chain. But yeah, asking that, especially if you have, you seem to have a great relationship with them. And so continue it on, develop it. Because again, that's whatever they tell you could adjust what we want to do internally, or get a sense of, okay, what's that going to look like from a time perspective? Is that realistic for us to promise? But just first starting to understand what would be most helpful and how would that be used internally so that we can have a sense of what that could look like and have a conversation on that. Yeah. But let me tell you this. Okay, we'll get into the rest of the agenda, but I want you to listen to your inclination of your idea to do this. And coming to me, I'm always happy to bounce things off of you. And that's what time is for. Every time we have our one-on-ones. And I will always show up, aside from when we have time off, because you don't need to be logging in from vacation. But I want you to see, like, no, like 6 months ago, like, no, you have so many good ideas. And so I think trusting your gut, again, I'm here for you, but see the growth that you've had. I know. As we have reviews coming up, marking this down and talking about the customer relationships that you're developing. And I can help you show how to put that into a format. But okay, let's go through the rest of the agenda. But I didn't want to stop without saying, like, that is strategic thinking. That is. All right, let's get into it.